All right, welcome back to my Magic the Gathering series. This is episode one, the official episode one. The previous episodes were pilot episodes. I was messing around with settings, trying to get everything fine tuned, and people seem to like that. So, as good as those episodes were, which I have my reservations on how good they were, but I got some feedback on things and I took that into account. So, what I've decided, instead of just focusing on just Forge for this series, there will be other formats. I'll try out. I own Magic the Gathering Online, so I'm going to try out some of that. There will be actual tabletop gameplay. We'll do Forge for PC, and we'll also try out some of the other formats to play Magic the Gathering on PC and console systems, etc., etc. But today, we're going to stick with the classics. We're going to continue on with Forge for Android. I'm going to try my hand with some of the new modern deck styles. What I'm going to go with today, because red is one of my favorite colors. I really love a good red deck, and any way to incorporate red into a deck, because the fast play and quick damage and just the strike ability that red has really appeals to me as a player with Magic the Gathering. Some of you others have play styles that are different from that. You like control or deck destruction or whatever, which is solid, just as good, but not my play style. I don't like the slow stall games. I like them to be quick, fast, and dirty. So let's give this red aggro deck a try that I found at Channel Fireball. Uh, See how well that it plays and holds up from a random generated deck today. So let's start up the game. Gonna load her up here and see who we got. So I won the coin toss, and as always, I'm gonna go ahead and play first. Let's go ahead and take a look at my cards here, see what we've got. We've got some Incendiary Flow, good choice, good choice. A lot of low costs for the starts here. The Zurgo Bellstriker, we've got a Mountain, good deal. Goblin Glory Chaser, the Fiery Temper, deals 3 damage and has that madness. I love that stuff. Collective Defiance. These are really fun cards because you get to choose one or more and you can escalate them for 1 cost. So low cost to get out, plus really cheap to escalate it, and I love that kind of stuff. Another mountain, so good for the startup. And another thing I want to point out, Collective Defiance has Chandra. That's my baby right there on the front of the card. I love everything Chandra. As a red mage, must say, Chandra is pure win. I love her. Anything that has something to do with Chandra, I'm gonna follow it. So already liking this deck so far. Let's go ahead and stand out. We are not going to mulligan our first hand, so we're going to keep that. Priority goes to me, and I'm going to drop a mountain. And as we've seen before already, we have some 1 casting costs. So we've got the Zurgo Bellstriker we can drop right now. They can't be blocked with creatures 2 or power or greater, plus they have that dash. So what dash does is you can cast this spell for its dash cost, and if you do, it gains haste, and then it's returned to the battlefield or returned from the battlefield to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So it's one of those quick kind of lightning kind of creatures that you can throw down and then bring back and try it again for the dash cost and just keep dashing at people with haste creatures. But I don't have anything else that's going to cast me 1 on the cost. And if I really want to drop down, I could do the Glory Chaser, which has that Renown 1. So I think I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do the Renowned creature. I'm going to do the Renowned because what happens is when it's Renowned, it gains Menace. And in order to get that Renown, when it does combat damage to a player, which is very possible next turn if he can't drop something, I'm going to get that Renown. So it'll be a 2/2 Goblin, and when it has Menace, it can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures. So we're going to drop this guy and go ahead and auto pay the cost, get you out because there's nothing to counter it. And I'm going to end turn because there's nothing else I can do. He's dropping the Underground Sea. That's that dual land type thing. Adds blue or black. So we already know what we're going against here. It's going to be a blue and black deck. Maybe has something else into it, but I doubt it being randomly generated. It's probably just going to be the 2-color decks. So let's let him throw that Island Swamp out in play, see what he's going to do. He's ending his turn. It's my priority now. So, good deal. I'm going to have a Renowned Goblin on this next turn. We drew... Nope, cancel that. Hold it down. There we go. We drew the Exquisite Firecraft. It deals 4 damage to target creature or player, has spell mastery, so if there are 2 or more instant and sorcery cards in my graveyard, Exquisite Firecraft can't be countered by spells or abilities. This might be a later game trick we can throw down in case I need to destroy something a little nasty down the road, so we'll hold on to that, even though I can't cast it right now yet anyways. We're going to have a second land out this turn, so with that mana extra that we have, we can do the Incendiary Flow and do 3 damage to our opponent, or we can say that for an exile, and we also have the option of the Fiery Temper, which does the 3 damage and the Madness cost, which again lets me discard the card, and when I do, I can cast it for its Madness cost and put it into my graveyard. So plus we have that Collective Defiance, which I like to save for late game, but we're going to just go ahead and drop that mountain and get into play right now. And you know what? We're going to go ahead. We're going to get that dash ability on our Zurgo Bellstriker because I like repeated play. No. Yes. We're going to do that, and I like that repeated play, and I like the possibility of doing 3 damage right now to my opponent. So we're going to auto cast that, and he's not going to counter that. Good. And now that we're in my attack turn, I'm going to go ahead and Alpha Strike him with the Zurgo Bellstriker. Come on. Select creatures to attack Jaco and... Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can't do that just yet. I can't do that just yet. Yeah, it messed up on me. It didn't do its dash ability, and I didn't get it in. It's just played, so it was a mistake on my part. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have that called back to my hand, so it's in play, but I can still do the 1 damage. So, my bad, my mistake, but it doesn't hurt me. It's still beginning game, and I'm going to get 3 points on the next turn anyway. So, oh well, things happen. That's the way the cookie crumbles when you're playing with computer games. You know, sometimes they don't get your intent. You may misclick or whatever, and that's what happened here. So I'll live with my mistake, and I don't think it's going to really hurt me because now this guy's renowned, and I'm going to possibly get 4 points of damage in the next turn. Even though this guy's still stuck in play, and I like repeating the dash, I really prefer to keep repeating the throwdown, even though it's going to cost me 2 mana every single turn or whatever. I prefer that haste throwdown and then bring it back to my hand over keeping it in play, because when it stays in play next turn, he has the ability to just lightning bolt it or whatever and get rid of it off of play. If it comes back to my hand, he can't do that. He has to find a way to discard it out of my hand, which a lot of you deck destroyers and hand destroyers already know how to do. So sometimes it's not even the safer bet to keep it in your hand. It's just according to how you like to play. You know, again, no way wrong to play Magic the Gathering. It's just how you like to strategize and play your game. So my strategy was a little but we'll see what happens on the next turn. And I'm going to go ahead and end the turn. He drops an island, and there's nothing he can play, but he can bring down finally a merfolk to defend himself. So that 2-1, not really a threat, not worried about that. I can smash that next turn, and he's going to go ahead and end his turn and bring it back to me. Um, so we've drawn the Insolent Neonate, has Menace, and has the discard a card, sacrifice Insolent Neonate, and draw a card. So if I really need to get a card into play, I can use this as my sacrificial lamb to draw a new card. And it only costs me 1 mana to get it out. And I think that's how we're going to play this. I believe we're just going to stick with that low casting cost for the moment. We're going to save these 3 damage and this Collective Defiance for later game because I think that's going to help me a lot later down the road to save these as either a collective multiple damage hit right to their face or get rid of some sort of crappy creature that they want to throw down on the field. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get this Insolent Neonate out on the board, auto pay its cost for 1 mana. I've only got 2 mana anyway, so it's really my only option unless I wanted to do that Incendiary Overflow, and not really interested in that just yet. Like I said, later game, better choice. Save that stuff. Even though red's all about the fast play, sometimes it is good to just slow down a little bit with red to see how your opponent's going to play things. Because if you go too fast and you get rid of all of your major damage stuff, then you're not going to have anything in your hand to take care of things later game. So here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and let that go through, and I'm going to attack with those 2 creatures I intended to last turn, and both of them will come at my opponent with a 2/2 each. He's going to have either the choice of he's going to have to block and kill one of them off and take 2 damage, or he's going to take 4 damage. So we'll see how he plays this out. And he took the 4 damage, so he's down to 15 now. I'm still at 20. Yeah, that's good for me. Let's go ahead and end turn. He drops a swamp, so I'm bound and determined to say that this is a 2-color deck I'm going against. He is black and blue, the Bruiser deck style. So let's see what horrors he has in store for me now. He's got the Armored Transport, so he can prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to Armored Transport by creatures that block it. So this could be a nasty creature down the road if he buffs it up. I might have to take that out right now. Let's just see. We might give that a turn and see what it does, how he's going to buff that. If he decides he's going to start buffing that, I may just have to take it out. But in the meantime, we're going to let him end his turn and see what I've drawn is a mountain. So finally, I can play everything in my hand. So now, here's where I make my decision. Do I get rid of the creatures that are on the board, or do I throw some damage to his face? Which currently, let's see what I've got in my hand here real quick. Gonna keep that. Gonna keep that. Gonna keep that. Yeah, I want to keep all of these. I really do. Because 3 damage and all of this extra stuff here, 3 damage and 4 damage, that's really beneficial to me, every single one of them. So I was thinking about discarding a card to draw a card, but I'm not seeing anything that I can discard right now. So let's go with my second option. This Incendiary Overflow, I can do 3 damage, and it would be beneficial right now to do it. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to Incendiary Overflow. We're going to do that. And we're going to target that artifact, because here's the thing. That artifact, if it gets buffed up, it's going to be a huge problem later down the road. If I can't find a way to get rid of it now, and I can't get rid of it later, just with the fact that it can't take combat damage, it's going to slaughter everything that I have on the field. and I'm not going to have any defenders. So let's go ahead and play that out, get rid of that thing, and then we're going to go into my combat phase and attack with my 2/2/2s again and see if he takes it to the face. So did not declare blockers. Good. He's down to 11, and I'm still on top with this game. Now, he's dropped another swamp, and let's see. He's still not doing anything as far as direct damage or whittling away cards. He's just trying to get creatures out. And, oh, it's one of these. It's one of these. I don't like these kind of cards. They're funky to me, and they just bother the heck out of me always. The flip cards are, if they're a complicated card, if you know how to use them, then they work really well. But I'm not sure the AI knows how to use this card very well. So we'll see what he can do with this. But I'm not sure I want to let this go a turn. For right now, though, it's going to be a 2/2, and it can become this 3/4 later if he can flip it. But the problem is he'll have to build up key counters on this thing, and that's whenever he plays a spirit or arcane spell that he gets the key counters. And at the end of the turn, if there's more than 2 key counters, then he can flip it, and it becomes this 3/4. But on the flip side of that, once it's flipped, you remove a key counter from Jiraku, the Interloper, and he can counter a target spell unless its controller pays an extra 2 mana. And in this beginning game right now, where neither one of us have very much mana, that could really, really hurt us. He could just counter things, and there would be nothing I can do about it. Plus, he'll have a 3/4 on the field if he knows how to use this card, which I'm not sure the AI at this point in time in Forge knows how to use this. They may have just recently updated uh, them to be able to use these flip cards like this, so we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm just going to let it go for now, but let's see what I draw on my turn. So we're going to let him end his turn, and I've drawn the Goblin Glory Chaser, again with the Renown, and I think I can get this to his dome right now. Yeah, what I'm going to do with the Goblin Glory Chaser, I'm going to get into the field, and it's not going to be something I can do this turn because of Summoning Sickness, but it can help me next turn if it plays out the way I want it to. This early in game probably won't, but luck of the cards can always be on your side. Never forget that. So try to set up strategies in advance, even if you don't have the cards, because you just may get lucky enough to draw those cards. And if you do, then having those strategies already pre-set up in advance will help you in the long run. So I'm not going to reveal exactly what I'm about to do with this guy, but if it works out the way I want it to, then I'll go ahead and lay down my strategy of what I was planning and show you how I'm going to use this guy, because he'll go great with that other Goblin Glory Chaser, especially if I can hit him to his dome and get him to a 2/2. It'll be fun times, fun times. The rest of my hand is all 3 casting cost. It's still not a good time to use that Neonate to draw a new card because I want to keep those cards. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward my game here, and I'm going to see if I can't just get rid of... I want to get rid of one of these cards, but I don't want to sacrifice any of my attackers just yet. Yeah, we're going to do it, because having one on the field still is still good. I'm going to go ahead and do the same strategy as I did before. I'm going to attack with both. Maybe he might defend with both. No, he took it both to the dome. That's kind of odd. He's really trying to hold on to his defenders here. He doesn't want to lose the cards. So he feels that he can take the damage, and I don't think that's going to be a good strategy for him. I think we're about to kick this guy's butt really hardcore. He's not playing as well as I'd hoped to. having his own opponent. But, you know, who knows? Next episode, we'll see if we can't get a stronger AI. Something that plays a little bit more chaotic, because you can change the AI in Forge. I think what I've got the AI set to right now is a little bit more reserved. So next episode, we'll change that AI to be a little bit more chaotic in its gameplay. So there will be more riskier decisions and make the gameplay a little bit more interesting and fun. Because the opponent I'm going, the way this game's going, if he doesn't pull something out of his hand, yes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that damage because really, come on. 2 points, what's that going to do to me? He's not going to really win at this point. I mean, I've already got my fourth mountain down in play. That's enough to start really throwing things to the dome. Uh, yeah. In fact, I think it's about time. I think it's about time. We can do this. I can escalate at 1. I think what we're going to do, we're going to choose the 3 damage to his face. And we're going to also do 4 damage to a target creature, which will be the merfolk, the untapped one. And then we're going to do an alpha strike with everything, and that'll be enough to kill him off. I mean, really, there's just nothing he can do about all this at this point. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, target. And then we're also going to, yeah, we're going to do that 4 damaged creature. So we're going to do that, and we're going to escalate it, and do that. And I don't have anything beyond that. Oh, 4 mana, yeah. So we're going to do 3 damage to the target opponent. We're going to do 4 damage to the creature, and then we're going to pay the mana cost. Hold on, it's not letting me do that. I don't want to escalate it too. I just want to do... Oh, I see. So I do this, I hit OK. I do this, I hit OK, and then I have to hit cancel because I can't do the third option. It's allowing me to do the third option, even though I don't have the mana, but it shouldn't. In my opinion, it should cut it off right there. It should know that automatically I only got 4 mana and say, okay, that's it, you're done. But it doesn't. It's allowing me to do the option, so we had to go back and fix that. Now we're going to do the 3 damage to his face, and then we're going to do the 4 damage to the Coral Merfolk, and then we're going to pay the auto cost of the 4, and then hit OK, and bam, he's now brought down to 4. And then I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to do an Alpha Strike, and I'm going to hit OK. And he can't declare any blockers because he has no blockers. He does have 5 mana, so there is one chance that he can pull this right out of his butt and save himself. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm about to just like slaughter this guy all over the board, and this is going to be the quickest episode 1 and ever made in history for my series here, which is a good start. So let's see what happens when I hit OK here. And bam, I won the game. And that was a red aggro match. Not as good of a test as what I was hoping. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes these random generated decks just can't stand up to anything. I think next episode, what I'm going to do is try to pick a modern deck style that's, you know, recent, maybe something off Channel Fireball, because it's my go-to place. I love the place for all decks. Their daily deck of the week that they put out at channelfireball.com is absolutely excellent. I mean, it gives you a rundown of the cards that are in the deck and the play styles that you can use and even alternative play styles. And then it gives you a deck that you can copy and paste and put into Forge or other applications that you like to use for Magic the Gathering, like Wagic the Homebrew or et cetera, et cetera. And I really love the place. So let's try red aggro again for episode number 2, and we'll get that tomorrow. Uh, See if we can't put him against a Bant humans. I want to see how a Bant humans plays, because those Bant human decks are so crazy. So look forward to that tomorrow. Red aggro versus Bant humans. We'll see how fast I can take down his counters. And then maybe episode 3 we'll flip it and see how fast he can take down my counters. But that's it for today, guys. If you liked this quick and dirty gameplay of episode 1, give me a like down below here, and be sure to subscribe to get notified of my future episodes. And if you hit that little bell icon that's right next to subscribe, you'll be notified immediately when my episode comes out. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you coming and watching the video, and see you next time.